pay more on that.
Welcome to the Washington Post. For assistance with digital products, please press star. To start a subscription, please say subscription or press 1. To report a damaged, incomplete, or missing paper for today, Tuesday, press 2 or say complaint. To temporarily stop your newspaper with a restart date, press 3 or say stop. If you're calling to cancel your subscription, press 4 or say cancel. For all account information, please say account or press 5. To speak with a service agent, say agent or press 0. Your call is being transferred to the next available representative. Thank you for calling the Washington Post. My name is Joyce. Can I help you?
Yeah, Joyce, this is Bill. You guys called me yesterday about my new home delivery subscription, and the recorded announcement said if I had any questions or problems to call you back. So I thought about it, and I said, I got my paper fine. I saw there was an address label on the top of the front page through the plastic bag, so I knew it was my paper. I took the paper out of the plastic bag to read it as I walked along the sidewalk, and I said, I don't want people to look at my newspaper and see my name and address, so I carefully tore the address label off of the top of the newspaper and put it in my wallet. The next day, when I got my newspaper, there was no address label on the top of the paper. I wasn't sure if it was my paper or someone else's paper, so I left it there, and when I got home, it was still there, so I figured that's my paper, and I took it. It occurred to me that, well, then I noticed that where I picked my paper up, are you still with me, Joyce?
Yes, sir.
Sorry for this long, drawn-out story. I should have a summary. But I've given you all the information I can because you might figure out a better solution than I can. Trying to protect the privacy of all the Washington Post subscribers that get home delivery, so that when people walk by or strangers, they can't pick up the newspaper, look at it, see the name and address, and then put it on their cell phone or put it on the internet and violate the privacy of all the Washington Post subscribers. That's the problem. The solution is, after I tore the address label off, there was no address label in sight. The next time I got my paper, I said, wow, the Washington Post pays close attention. You must have solved this problem already. You're not going to put the address label on after the first few deliveries or something. But then I said, how do I know that it's my paper? And so the United States Postal Service had a plastic box, carrier, container thing right where I picked up my newspaper, and on that postal thing it said put label on, label goes on other end. So then I said, aha, maybe instead of putting the address label on the top of the front page where it's folded so you can look through the plastic bag and see, yeah, that's my paper, it would make more sense to put the address label on the bottom of the front page or somewhere else that's relatively convenient, the back page inside the fold, so you can pick up the paper, take it out, unfold it, double check, yeah, there's the address label, I see it when it's unfolded, it's my paper, I'll take it. If there's more than one delivered to an apartment building or something. If it's your own home, you know that's your paper. You don't need to worry about the address label at all. But that's the reason I called you back. is to protect all the Washington Post subscribers in apartment buildings or whose newspaper would be on the front step or somewhere that somebody could take a look and see, oh, I wonder who lives in that nice house. There's their paper. It's 6 a.m. No one's going to notice. I'll take a look at the paper and find out who lives there. Maybe they'll be interested in my political campaign or something. I don't know. I don't even know if there's a law against looking in a bag that has a newspaper in it. But, that's not the direction I would go in at all. I would simply look about the placement of the label on the newspaper. So that's the first question. Then a second question came up later. Are you with me on the first question?
Yes.
Good. Okay. The second question is, I was in the telephone store when your automated system called me, and I said, wow, what a good system the Washington Post has. They called me on about my new subscription. They want to make sure I'm getting it. Here I am buying a telephone subscription, and I have to pay $399 for a 64 gigabyte iPhone, and then I get a credit check, and then I pay like $80 a month, and I can lock that in forever. As long as I'm alive, I'll get unlimited data surfing the internet. I said there must be some way the Washington Post subscription department could team up with the telephone companies and say, your news is as important as your telephone. Why not subscribe to the Washington Post with your phone? So all the upcoming generations, when they go to get their phone contracts, would be offered a deal with the Washington Post, New York Times, or whoever partners with the phone companies to bundle home delivery and or digital subscriptions with their phone. They get a slight price discount. They could lock it in for life to become a member forever for the Washington Post newspaper or services diversified portfolio. Check the ones you want, and then you would pay up front. Like the phone thing, you'd get a Kindle or something with it, or you'd get the app for your phone included, or you'd get the paper delivered to your door, and there'd be a front-end fee of $100 or $80. I don't know if people can afford. Some phones come free when you get the plan. Maybe you'd get a free Kindle as part of it because you'd sign up for 2 years, and you could lock it in for life to always get the way the lock it in for life thing works is you get unlimited data for one set price. They're permitted to raise the price, but you still get unlimited data access. They'll never change their system to where it's like 5 gigabytes a month, and then if you go over that, you got to pay so much per gigabyte when you go over that. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Sorry to be such a monologue. I'm not used to working with other people, and it's really a pleasure to have an intelligent listener here that's concerned about the Washington Post circulation department. So that's kind of my prayer, that and I'll try to put it in writing and send it to the newspaper, but talking with you has helped me sort of realize how much I have to edit it out and make it shorter, so that Sprint and Verizon and AT&T, when they're selling the phone plans, can include news with it. And maybe that new owner, Jeffrey Bezos? Yeah. Pardon?
Jeff
Bezos? I'm not sure how to pronounce.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure how to pronounce his name, and I was appreciating you articulating it. So maybe Jeffrey, with his experience at Amazon.com, like I get a water filter by subscription from Amazon.com. Once a month, they mail me the new insert for the water filter. So maybe the Washington Post on Amazon.com, either through their Kindle program and or phone programs, could partner with these different people. So when people are buying a subscription for something already, they're in that mentality, then they would become a member. You'd pay maybe $100, maybe $200 to become a member of the Washington Post forever, for the rest of your life. And all the services, the newspaper, the TV, whatever the Post offers, and you could get it delivered via your phone or your Kindle or your iPad. I'm sure the guys in marketing have probably all batted this around in their powwows and stuff and figured it out already, but it was new to me yesterday when I was in the Sprint store and the Washington Post automated system called me and asked me if I was happy with my new subscription. So I said I should call it in for whatever it's worth, because here I was getting ready to put my credit card on the line for $400 plus, I'm not sure what she said. It was $400 for the phone and maybe and $80 a month, and I'm not sure if I had to pay a couple of months in advance if my credit check didn't work out. They wanted a deposit. But most Post customers probably have the okay credit, so they wouldn't have to make a deposit. And we're so used to paying 25 cents or 50 cents or $1 for a paper, and that's it, and no further obligations. And getting the news for free off the front page when you look at it on the internet, that it could lead to artificial intelligence. You know how Google, Gmail, content matching software, you type an email to somebody about, say, do metal detectors detect uranium? I'm worried because at the U.S. Capitol, when I go in, they check it for metal, but none of the police officers could tell me if the machine would also find hidden uranium that people might bring into the building. Can you please tell me if this metal detector checks for that, and if not, what would it cost for Smith to upgrade their metal detector so the U.S. Capitol could have better security? You send that email to Smith Metal Detectors, the next time you look at your Gmail, you find ads and sidebar stuff about metal detectors, uranium, police and security, and all this stuff comes up. So why shouldn't it work that way with the Washington Post? When you read an article, it then gives you a sidebar of all the other articles that you might be interested in. Same way with Facebook. When you run an ad, have you ever run an ad on Facebook, my friend?
Yes, sir.
So you know about the demographic software that Facebook offers. When you go to place your ad, you pick target groups and all this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you subscribe to the Post, I guess they're asking, already, what do you do? It feels a little intrusive to me. I don't want to answer what do. I want to have a little button that let me filters. So today, right now, I want to see what the Post is offering to engineers, electrical engineers. So I push the electrical engineer button, and I see the Post offerings that are filtered, oriented towards electrical engineers for right then. Or if I want to search back in time, I do electrical engineer, and it filters the search for Now, say I'm in an architectural mood. I want to see what landscape architects are being offered by the Washington Post. I want to be able to go over to that menu choice, push the button for landscape architects, and see the filter for all that. Instead of me having to commit when I sign on as a subscriber, they want to know, what do I do? Consulting, engineering, accountant. And by checking that, then I worry that they filter the news, so I see that perspective more than I would see other perspectives. They don't tell me when I check that how much it's going to affect what I see. And the whole idea is to open to the 100% independence, the one God, who doesn't need any, including not needing to not need. And so God's ready to and willing to create and sustain and welcome and perfect any. So I worry I lose that openness by checking boxes. If the Post could redesign that so I could change my check marks at any time, and the whole thing the filter would change right in front of me, that would be a news filter bonus that would be so good, and it would be so 21st century. And then if I'm calling on the phone, I'm getting ready to call Joe, who's a mechanical engineer. Then I could take, well, before I call Joe, let me, check box the mechanical engineer filter on the post and see what mechanical engineers are looking at now. Quick look at that, then call Joe. Or even while I'm talking with Joe, have the artificial intelligence of the Washington Post listen to the phone call and, oh, there's a news item about this ducting system that might relate to what you're talking about. And it would show up, the Post page would automatically go to this ducting system. So while I'm talking to Joe on the phone with my voice and I'm looking at the Washington Post on the screen would change based upon what I'm talking about on the phone to Joe. And when I sign up for my phone subscription, wouldn't it be nice if the Washington Post could say, do you want to also include this service for an additional $10 a month? Or $20 a month, or $30 a month. Hopefully it wouldn't cost too much because we get so many subscribers that it would pay for it all. So those are the two questions: the privacy of the home delivery labels and where you place them, and customer choice, remove the label, simply leave the paper without a label. If the customer, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. If that means, sir, may I know your last name?
Well, if elected, I will respectfully serve, but I think these ideas are independent. You're doing a fine job on my delivery. You could simply say it's from a concerned customer.
That's right, sir. Actually, that is a great suggestion. Don't worry, I'll go ahead and forward that to our main office today. I'll go ahead and email all the information that I got from you, and good job, sir. That will be a great suggestion for the post.
Yeah, do you have my phone number on your screen?
By the way, sir, I wasn't able to pull up your account yet. Can you have your telephone number?
Well, let me give you the number, but you don't have to call up my account. Let's keep my account separate from this and simply include the number if anyone from the office wants to call me. How's that?
Okay, no problem, sir.
Okay.
That'll be
It's a privacy. The other thing would be if I should go in my account and be able to use a screen name that you would see my account, you could see my screen name, but you wouldn't find out my legal name and address unless I gave permission. And that again would protect the Post customers. My phone number is 202-465-0067.
202-465-0067.
202-465-0067.
Thank you, sir. Don't worry, I'll be including your phone number.
Yeah.
And, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you have my permission to put my phone number in the idea to forward to your chain of command, but I'm not interested in associating my account or my name with the suggestion to role model that the Post wants to protect our customer privacy.
No problem, sir. Don't worry, I'll go ahead and email you as soon as possible today, okay?
Yep, labels and the AI and the account name to protect the customer's legal name.
Okay, no problem, sir. I'll be requesting that to our main office.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. And will there be anything else that I can assist you?
Maybe it would tie in with the NSA that the Washington Post is going to make sure the subscribers' legal names are in the private computer offline, and all the online work is done with your Washington Post screen name, including like when you call into customer service and stuff. I would give my a screen name or an account name or some. But no, that's all I can think of. Thanks.
You're welcome, sir. And thanks for calling the Washington Post. Have a great day. Bye now.
Bye. Wow, my left hand went numb holding the phone.